and welcome back. This is Baller Scuba with, believe it or not, more bonus episodes of Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. We are in the middle of playing a very complex game, as you can see. This is actually Chocobo World, and for the most part, this game is completely automated, as you can see by the very low technical quality of the game. This is actually a handheld game. I can control very little here. I can control the movement of Chicobo, as it turns out. This is more or less a Tamagotchi game. I can control up, down, left, right. As you can see, I have really no idea where I'm going, but that is where the menu comes in handy. I'm playing the Steam version of the game, so for me, it's going to be hitting control here. This will pull up the map, and as you can see, the blinking dot is the my objective here. Those are where things can happen, so I want to go to those spots. It actually has the real time on there, and you can tell this wasn't released in the United States because that just shows 23:12 instead of like 11 p.m., which is what it is. So that's one section of the menu. I have to hit left and right to go to the other sections. To the right, I can see what kind of weapon my Chocobo has. Sorry, my Chicobo has. That weapon would be 1111. So every time my Chicobo attacks, it does 1 damage. Each one of those ones, I mean, those are all the different attacks. So all my attacks do 1. I'm level 1. I kind of just started this. It does actually automatically save because it is kind of like a Tamagotchi clone for those of you that had those. If you didn't, feel free to look one up. It's pretty much a pet that you carry around with you. I believe this in Japan was something similar to a memory card, something similar to what Dreamcast did with their system. For those of you that did have a Dreamcast, here you can see what items I have. You can see that the top row would be A. That would be A level items. Those are really, really good items that you can then transfer over to your Final Fantasy VIII game. B would still be really good items, actually. Then on the bottom row, you can see C and D. And I have one D item that I got off screen when I was testing this out. It hasn't transferred. I don't plan on transferring anything over from Chocobo World. Here you can see the event. Wait, you want this off, because how this game works is you're going to want to just set it and forget it. You know what I mean? You're just going to want to set it to go and let it go. Unfortunately, the sound cannot be turned off. Otherwise, I totally would. I was told that the S key might do it, but it is not working. You definitely want it off. What this means is that every time there is something that might require your attention, when you have it on, it will wait for you to hit the control button. But if you turn it off, then the game will just automatically go, and that's definitely what you want to have happen. Finally, you can set the movement pattern of your Chicobo. That will be fine, to be honest with you. That's the default, which is 5. But let's get out of the menu. We need to actually go find an event so that you can see what it is like to actually play the game. Usually what you're just going to want to do is leave this on for days at a time because the Chicobo can take care of itself. But for the purposes here, I do want to, hey, it automatically went up in order to find the event, the dot right there. So we're almost there. I didn't actually move it. It did it by itself. Head up, and I should be able to get the event. And it is now a battle. Now, the way that this screen works is the far left is my opponent's HP, the second one in the box is his ATB gauge, and then the one after that is my Chicobo's ATB gauge. Finally, my Chicobo's HP. I need... Ooh. Unfortunately, I have lost. Every battle that I've been in so far, my Chicobo has indeed lost. So when your Chicobo loses, once again, I have really no control over this whatsoever. There's not like an attack button that I can do. The Chicobo just automatically attacks when its ATB gauge goes down to 0. What happens is your Chicobo sleeps it off. And then once it's back up to full HP and maybe a little bit longer, usually a little bit longer, it'll just start going again. I can hit control though and make it go again whenever I want to. God, there's not really anything close by here. So that's more or less the game. There are, small little Easter eggs along the way, of course, but a lot of times they're going to be difficult, considering I've been probably going at this for about 15 minutes, gotten in 3 battles, lost all 3 of them. So I haven't gotten any experience to get to the next level, and you can actually get up to level 100, and there's actually a Steam achievement for getting up to level 100. I'm not entirely sure how much I am willing to actually do that. Let's go find more items, because there's more things that happen than just battling in this game. I would love to actually win a battle so I can show you how the level up system works, which is very strange. But I would also love to get an item, just a random item. They don't tell you, I believe, what the item is. They just tell you what class it is. The level D item, though, is usually pretty good. If I can find a list of the items that you can get in this game, I will post it in the description below. But not that many people talk about this game, because until the Steam version, there wasn't really a way to play it. I understand there was a hacked copy of the game that was circulating the internet for PC versions of the game, but even then, people didn't really talk about it. All right, we're in another battle. We're up against a spooky skeleton. As you can see, I am indeed kicking his ass. However, every once in a while, he will hit me for 5 damage, and that's going to be devastating. But my Chocobo will always hit for 1. Come on, get your turn. Oh, looks like we're going to get it this time, and we win! My first victory. And here what happens is we get more or less a tic-tac-toe board, and it'll automatically place the block on one of the 9 tic-tac-toe areas. And once you get 3 in a row, I believe diagonally counts. Once that happens, another battle? Okay. I mean, it is the most common thing that happens when you get an event, but, sometimes they just give you an item. When you get 3... Oh, that is not going to be good. I'm probably going to die here. And down goes the Chocobo. So much for that. Once you get 3 in a row, then your Chocobo levels up and gets more HP. Every once in a while, you'll get to a shop. You can purchase... I guess just purchase a new weapon. Remember, we saw the weapon was 1111. There's a weapon, I believe, that is 5000. If you set it automatically, it will automatically choose whichever one has the highest total. Or sorry, not the highest total, the highest damage. So if you have a 2222, I would say that's better than a 5000, but the Chocobo will purchase the 5000. But once again, if you just set it and let it go all the time, it will level up on its own. It can take care of itself. However, from what I understand, because once again, I have not done very much with this whatsoever. From what I understand, there are kind of events that happen in this game. I am hoping to get one of them today, but really all we've gotten so far are battles. So I will keep going until we get at least something different. But from what I understand, there are scripted events that happen at levels 25, 50, 75, and 100. And since the game doesn't really allow me to use any kind of speed ups, I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to be able to do that. Are you going to automatically turn left for me? How far up do I have to go? There we go. He automatically turns if you're really close to it. And it's another battle. Wow. And this monster's just way too strong for me. That was just way too difficult. I did not stand a chance there. But we're pretty close to a few other dots, so we might as well try to get 1 or 2 other dots. From what I understand, there's a little bit of a story that will happen when you get to levels 25, 50, 75, and 100. You do get that Steam achievement at 100 as well. But the story is very minimal, as you might imagine. the game's not all that in-depth. This was really something that was designed to be carried with you. That's why I related a lot to the Tamagotchi. I know there's kind of a whole generation of my viewers that are not going to know what a Tamagotchi is. But what a Tamagotchi was, it was a little handheld thing, usually came on a key ring. So you could attach it to your keychain, and you would just carry it around with you, usually on your hip, in your pocket, something like that. And as you moved, it would like get experience. Hey, we found a Moomba! And as a result of us getting the Moomba, we got an upgraded weapon. So now every once in a while, probably about 20% of the time, 25% of the time, we will indeed attack and get two. So there you go. We found a Moomba. We still haven't found an item yet, though. Hey, automatically turns again. I'm liking this. So hopefully we can find at least one of these scripted events that is kind of known in this, which would be finding the Mini-Mog, which, if you remember, was a card that we got in Final Fantasy VIII, but then we never saw in the game. I'm willing to go as far as saying there aren't Moogles in the game. However, there is a Mini-Mog in Chocobo World, but does that really count? And it is battle time again. Once again, all of this is pretty much random. Where the dots are, if we win or lose, it's disconcerting sometimes. And we have won again! Alright, let's put another experience in there. Please be somewhere good. Hey, look! We almost got it to the next level. For those of you doing the math, tic-tac-toe board, the minimum that you will need to get 3 in a row is 3. The most before you get... Hey, we found a cactuar! And we got another item. It was an item D, for those of you that read the little treasure bag there. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, there is going to be a point in the game where there is something that happens, but I'm not sure that I am comfortable just kind of sitting here waiting for the game to get up to level 25 and then hopefully... Oh, yes, when you're in automatic mode, sometimes the Chicobo just decides to fall asleep in order to regain its health. So it just randomly goes, I am tired, I'm going to sit down. But I can always make it stand back up. And that's more or less the game. Once again, at levels 25, 50, and 75, there's a minimal story. I'll just go ahead and say what it is. Eventually, you will find a female Chicobo that gets captured, and you need to rescue it. So you gotta get it. And it's battle time again. How this all works, I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, this is really meant to be a time eater. This is something that you're supposed to carry with you. It doesn't need to be attached to the PlayStation for you to play it. It's something that is designed like a handheld Game Boy or DS. It's supposed to go with you. And I didn't get the level up, and that upsets me. It's supposed to go with you. You're supposed to take it to work, much like a freemium game where you have to look down every hour or so to see how you're doing. Maybe build something and then, check it again in an hour. That's more or less how this game was designed to work, especially with event wait mode off. So that's more or less the game. Like I said, you can get items. They can be transferred to your Final Fantasy VIII game. But of course, you will need to unlock one of the Chocobo forests. You will need to finish that. Hey, leveled up to level 2. As a result of that, you will have to get one of the Chocobo Forest solved before you can actually transfer data from Chocobo World into Final Fantasy VIII. So that's how Final Fantasy VIII works with Chocobo World, and that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Chocobo World. This bonus episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I've been Baller Scuba. I've been joined, as always, by a very small... I'm going to make this full screen for you, but I'm going to be honest, it's about the size of a postage stamp on my screen. My very small game of Chocobo World. That's going to do it for these parts of... these bonus parts of Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I've been Baller Scuba. I've been joined, as always, by the Chicobo. Hope you guys have enjoyed this part. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Get up, you lazy.